Ideals like peace, freedom, and justice, they get packed up, but we can all go home. Well, I'm not going home. I'm gonna get on my boat, and I'm going upriver, and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch bison's ass so hard that the next bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home, and who wants to go with me?
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 340. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for the Rated G network, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Rated G for Gamers. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man? Salutations.
Salutations, Dan. I have a little PSA at the top of the show because I had a little mini heart attack when I was doing some cleaning on my shelves. And I will tell you, I'll tell everybody, because you own the Sonic Sega Genesis that came with Sonic Mania, right?
I do.
Okay. Did you put batteries in that thing or no?
I don't remember, I'll be honest.
Flip it over, open it up, double check, because this is the second time it happened. If you leave batteries inside of a thing for too long and they don't get use, they leak, and you get the I guess
you get the acid that the acid that leaks out and destroy. You make me want to stop the show now and go see.
Right. I meant to tell you a little bit ago, but it was fine. I cleaned it out. I got it in time. It didn't really dissolve any of the plastic or anything, but because I had them in there because it was cool to just like flip it on and here it goes Sega. Right, it was cool, and I didn't think to like take them out after a while because I wouldn't do it anymore. So. And the other time it happened was with the Modern Warfare 2. The special edition came with night vision goggles that actually work, and they have a little battery pack in the back. I didn't buy the special edition version at the time, but I got it from a friend of mine, my friend Nick. He was getting rid of some stuff. He's like, "Here, you want this?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" And it came with like a dummy head that you would put it on, and the thing in the back, and he had batteries already in it, and I guess he forgot about them. I didn't even realize, and then one day I'm like, "Hey, I wonder if this thing works." I opened it up, and I was like, "Oh God!" So I put fresh batteries in that thing. That thing does work. Thankfully, it's good. I caught it in time, but yeah.
Well, so, I would say if that's the case, you have to check your Xbox controllers, right? Like, because they take AA batteries where PlayStation controllers have rechargeable batteries in them. Mm-hmm. And I have a whole bunch of like Xbox One and Xbox Series X controllers.
Yep.
And I'm like, you know what? Let me take the batteries out because especially of my Elite controller, I don't want that. I don't want it to leak,
right,
and mess up the most expensive controller I ever paid for.
Yeah, it's a smart move right there. Smart move. You only need batteries when you need them, and no other time. All right.
I will say this. I love I don't know if they still sell these. Mm-hmm. They had the old Xbox One controller stands. Mm-hmm. And those were cool because in the back of it, they had like a little slot for you to put the batteries in. So you can keep the batteries, if you take the batteries out of the controller.
They got a little like dock, a little caddy for them. Yeah.
So it's like,
okay.
Oh, that was so awesome. I have the Halo one, which is what I have the Elite controller sort of propped up on, and I have the batteries in the back. So I never keep the batteries in like Xbox controllers unless I'm like always using it. Mm-hmm. So, But I will say, we weren't gonna be late this episode. I was gonna make sure we were on time because I got bit by the zombie again.
Oh,
I was sick.
The zombie apocalypse came for you. Hot damn, Dan. You got to stop doing that. You got to stop doing that.
I know. Ugh. Well, I'm like Ellie at this point. I think I'm immune. It wasn't as bad as the first time.
Right.
So if you listen to the show earlier in the year, which I definitely was super sick.
Mm-hmm.
I made it through, and this time tested positive for the zombie apocalypse. I got bit, but I didn't turn into a zombie this time. So super happy about that.
Damn.
I know. So, but listen, be thankful, everybody, take care of yourselves and watch out for those zombies because they'll jump out of anywhere and bite you. I will say.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's get the show on the road. Dave, we have an awesome show this week. All right, we're going to talk about a potential Death Stranding movie in the works, right? And a new Tomb Raider game was sort of announced, well, in production, right? But before we get into any of that, let's just talk about the Game Awards. So we talked about the last episode was all about the Game Awards, right? Mm-hmm. Still mad God of War didn't win Game of the Year, but you know what?
Hey, we have the Sklar brothers, and we
my tip my hat to you. Gotta say, Game Awards every year since we've been doing the show, every year I think has gotten better, right? Like every year has gotten just a little bit better, and this year it was not as long as previous shows, right?
That's a good thing.
It was still long.
Yeah, people were still complaining that it was too long. They want to keep it down. They want a lot less trailers.
Well, I don't think they want less. I think they want more trailers.
I don't.
They want it to be more E3 than the
some
award
people
show.
Maybe I don't know. I hear a lot of chatter about making it it's an award show, right? But I like all the announcements and everything, right? I think it's like a pretty good balance as it is right now. It is a little bit trailer heavy, but they're good announcements, right? Keighley, especially this year, he got some great announcements for it. So,
but
maybe they want more in that way. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it.
But this year, the Game Awards announced that it was sort of like a huge year for them, right? 103 million global live stream viewers across 30 different streaming platforms.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah, like that's kind of insane. That's kind of crazy. Whoever says gaming's dead, they're obviously wrong.
They say that all the time, or they always say PC gaming is dead. That's been a thing for so long, and it's like, no, it's not. Just because consoles had hard drives, just because consoles can go online, just because consoles are modular doesn't mean PC gaming's dead.
No, but look, no. Listen, tip my hat to Jeff Keighley. Awesome show. He definitely had an awesome show this time around. I just want it to be in January. That's it. That's all. I want to start the year off with the Game Awards.
That is a bridge too far down. I'm sorry.
Come on. How is that the bridge too far? Just do the Game Awards around CES.
I understand. Make it happen.
Everyone's going to be in town anyway.
It's a logistical nightmare. It is. Because he's so used to having it in December, all the systems are set up, and he knows when to get everything started, right? How to make all those things. He just got to change the whole schedule by a month now. Wait, I'm with you, but it's not that easy.
All you gotta do is push it 30 days.
I mean, I know. Make it on January 6th, right? Right after the new year. People still have off, maybe, right? It's the Epiphany. It'd be good. It'd be the 12th day of Christmas, and you get the best gift, the Game Awards. All
right. So, Dave, this is something I think we started like last year. I think this is kind of cool. Nintendo's doing their sort of year in review, right? We got the link. I thought it would be fun just to check out like our year. I mean, I see what we've been playing on our Switch for the most part for the whole year. I have not looked at this, so I have no idea what my stats are going to be.
Well,
I know
I
you
have,
probably
but
glanced.
you don't know because we didn't talk about it, so you don't know my picks or my stats, I should say.
So, and I kind of like the way they do. I'm just glancing at this now, and they sort of have like they don't give you too many details, but I kind of like the way they have it set up. So they start with the top 3 most games you've played throughout the year, right? Like, I was surprised at what do you think would be my number 1 game? My number 1 Switch game I've played this year.
Either Splatoon or Mario Rabbids.
Good guesses, but you're totally wrong. Actually, it was Bayonetta 3.
Oh yeah, that too. That would be the other one. Yeah.
Kirby and the Forgotten Land,
Oh, that would be the other one.
and Marsupilami.
No, I wouldn't have guessed that. Marsupilami, huh? Wow. All right.
I don't know if you remember. I talked about it early in the year. I was like, I picked it up on a whim. It was a great platformer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my top 3 games. For you, I'm gonna say anything Final Fantasy. Anything Final Fantasy.
I mean, that's a good guess, but no, nothing really new came out for the Switch for Final Fantasy. Right, Final Fantasy on the Switch, really. If anything, it was ports and whatever it's stuff I played already for the most part. There is one Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy adjacent game that I played, and that was Chocobo GP. But I only played like an hour of it because it's terrible. It's way too microtransaction heavy, so... And it's sad, too, because I like the original one, but...
Okay, wait. Before you tell me, is it... 1 or 2 of those are like turn-based RPGs?
2.
2. Yeah, that's what I said. It's either 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Definitely turn-based RPGs. Okay. So, all right. So
Did you give up?
I give up. What are your top 3?
I will definitely give you a point for the turn-based RPG thing. It's kind of a gimme. It's it's kind of like Jordan going up for a slam dunk. All right, he's just he's gonna get it in. But I'm glad that you said that because I beat Fire Emblem 3 Houses this year. It's not a new game by any means, but I made it a point to beat it. So I put a hell of a ton of time into it. And then the other one is Tactics Ogre Reborn, which is the remake.
Yes. That's I meant to say Tactics Ogre. Okay. Good.
And then the third one, and looking at the stats, I have not played a lot on my Switch this year. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because they had the new tracks. So I played a little bit of that. But to crack the top 3, you really only had to play for a handful of days. And I played 3 days and 4 hours, it says, for Tactics Ogre.
Wait, where are you getting the stats from?
Oh, it's a little bit further down on the page.
Oh, okay.
8 days and 5 hours. 5 hours spread out over 8 days is what I think they're. Yeah. So when you look at the most played per month, then it'll give you the breakdown of how many hours over how many days. Yeah, and then Fire Emblem was 31 days, 77 hours over 31 days. That one took a lot of time. So.
Oh. Interesting. I didn't.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't even realize all the stats were down here. Oh,
yeah, right. It like breaks it down by game, which is awesome. I haven't played like everything else that I played was like maybe an hour or 2 hours. Like that was like when people were coming over or like my friends' kids come by. So like Sonic Mania is in there, and the Mario games are in there, and Hyrule Warriors. So it's all over the place.
Well, I played Bayonetta 3 for 7 days, and it took me 16 hours. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, I played for 3 days, and it took me 10 hours. So that's pretty. And Marsupilami took me 4 days and 8 hours.
Sure.
The most I played was NES Classic. Well, NES Online.
Oh, they count that as a whole game? Interesting.
15 days and 6 hours.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, and the SNES also 19 days and 5 hours. And I played more. Well, I played the N64 for 23 days, but only 3 hours. Interesting.
Yeah.
But it's weird that they got played at launch. I don't get, like, how can you have a top 3 played at launch?
Well, I mean, oh yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the amount of hours you put into the first day.
Probably.
Possible.
Okay, so I got
right?
Bayonetta 3. I got Bayonetta 3, Splatoon 3, and Mario Strikers Battle League.
Great.
Those are my top 3 at launch. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And if you scroll all the way down, it says your gaming trends, and I'm more of an action person. 41%
that makes sense.
action games.
That makes sense.
25% platformers. And it says 5% multiplayer. I don't even know what multiplayer game had 5% of.
I don't know. Maybe Mario Kart? I don't know.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I'm assuming yours is like 70% RPG.
Well, technically, I mean, it's strategy and role playing, so yeah.
Okay.
37 and 40%, and then multiplayer, adventure, fighting, and action are like 5 to 7%. So.
Gotcha. Well, I got arcade 6%, fighting 6%, and adventure 17%. Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. That is our year in review
of the Switch. Of us playing on the Switch. I wish I know Sony does it. I couldn't find the link because I thought we could do Sony and Nintendo, but Xbox doesn't do it. We've never done an Xbox like year in review.
Yeah,
I've never seen a link for it either.
Yeah, it's weird that they don't do it. And they have a lot to go by. Yeah.
Honestly, I would think Xbox would be the one to be doing this because, just Xbox Online has always been like the best online experience out of all 3 platforms, right? Since the beginning. So I thought, and they do keep good stats. I have to believe.
They haven't had one since 2018.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and it looks like it was pretty comprehensive. Yeah.
All right. Well, Dave, this is the part of the show where I say, as we always try to start the show, but epically fail.
Oh.
You got to wait for it.
Oh, boy.
What have you been playing?
Oh, my God. I didn't think you were going to say it then. You know I love this part of the show. You know this is the best part of the show. This is what people come here for. They want to know what we've been playing. They want to know what we think about these games. And I know you're happy because I'm still rocking through God of War.
Oh,
I am in Alfheim, fighting the elves. They are tough, and I will leave it at that.
Okay.
That is my jam. And obviously, I'm still doing Halo Infinite Forge mode, making my levels. So it's good stuff. How about you?
So I've been playing. It's funny because the opinion I thought I would have for one game, I had for the other game. Right. So I've been playing Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, and I thought if you listen to the show, I was hyped for this game. I couldn't wait for it to come out. And I'm not gonna lie, I am totally disappointed with this game. It's boring, to be honest.
Right.
It's a little boring. You have the hub world, which is different from what you did in Final Fantasy VII Remake, where you have to select. You select your missions, and the missions are just boring. And it's truly an RPG at its core, right? Like hey, you got to go this way for your destination. And every time I go, some random battle always happens. And you can run away. But here's the thing. Sometimes when you're trying to run away, you're trying to like run into this invisible wall and wait for the circle to come full circle, to go all the way around. If they hit you, that circle breaks. So sometimes you're forced to fight.
Yeah.
And it drives me nuts sometimes because I'm like, oh, this is like grinding little fights. I don't want to do this. Like, and the story, I'll be honest, the story does not capture me at all in any sense of the way. I do not care.
All right.
So I thought I was really hyped for this game because I like Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah.
Sort of like prequel to that. And I have no interest at all.
Well, all right.
And then I've been playing High on Life, which I thought would be like a throwaway. Like I'll check it out since it's on Game Pass. And this game is great. This game is awesome. This game is awesome.
Okay.
I love High on Life. Honestly, it's like Rick and Morty meets Doom.
Right.
Like it is legit.
Well, it's the it's the creator of Rick and Morty. Yeah.
Well, it's legit a Doom clone, right? From like it's like Doom. I can't really take shelter anywhere. I can't really hide behind there's no cover system. You know, it's shoot and move. And the guns are hilarious. The knife is hilarious. Like the humor, I'm cool with the humor, and I know there's a way where you could shut the guns. You could shut them up a little bit, where you can sort of turn down the dialogue. I wouldn't want to do that. The whole point of this game is
for the
to
humor.
hear him talk smack. Yeah,
Yeah,
hear him
yeah.
talk smack. Right. So if you like Doom, and you want to hear this weird sense of humor, right? Like this is a perfect game for you.
Yeah. So I was reading some stuff about it. They actually got the rights to 4 full-length like B movies.
Yes,
And-
which you can watch.
Yes.
You can watch in
And
the
if you
game.
watch them all, you get an achievement
Oh wow! Like
because they have like an in-game cinema, so you can just like sit down and watch it.
sit there and watch the whole movie. Okay.
And the same at the beginning when the guy tells you to wait for an hour. I think there's an achievement for that too.
Oh, okay. I definitely didn't wait for an hour.
Oh no, of course not. But I mean, like they have dialogue for the whole entire interaction. So like every now and again, the guy will keep coming back up on the screen. It's like, oh, well, you're here. You're still waiting. Oh, okay, good. Soon. We're almost ready. It's another 45 minutes. It'll go by really quick. And he just keeps coming back on, making sure you're there. And then, it's great. It's great.
I like the fact that like just the little details, right? Where like you get the suit. This isn't a spoiler, but like in the beginning of the game when you get the suit, you get your power suit or whatever, you have to go to the pawn shop to get like some malware software or whatever to authenticate the suit, because if you don't, there's like malware that's in there and it like has all these pop-ups
That's
in your
funny.
face. You have to keep shutting the pop-ups down, and at some point it gets too crazy. And throughout the game, like there'll be pop-ups or whatever, and it's like it's annoying but funny at the same time. It's like I gotta update I gotta authenticate myself with the suit. I'll get all these stupid pop-ups. So the game is definitely a surprise. It's Game Pass right now exclusive, which makes me, like one of like. Less than a handful of exclusive Xbox games right now, but I want a physical edition. I don't know how long it's going to be exclusive for, right? Like I can imagine this being on the PS5. I mean, listen, Limited Run has a good relationship with the creator of like Rick and Morty, right? Like they put out that like that sort of like Rick and Morty like VR PlayStation, the PSVR game. A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I definitely need a physical edition of this. Like I want it now.
Oh, it's not a physical.
Not physical. It's only in Games Pass.
Oh, interesting.
All right. Well, let me take a break.
Mm-hmm.
When we come back, we get into the top gaming news of last week.
Yep.
And we're back. All right, I just want to say, the first half, again, I got bit by the zombie. So if I sound a little weird, that's because I was like turning into a zombie, trying not to turn into a zombie. But I'm back now, so I'm all good.
This is like a feature like Michael Jackson video over here. All right.
Maybe. Right. Right. Well, if we're talking about Death Stranding, I'm just gonna start dancing like it's Thriller.
Yeah. Right.
I'm just gonna start. Dan's gonna start. I'm just gonna start dancing like I'm Thriller.
There you go.
All right. Let's get into the top gaming news of last week.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with Sony. Sony has confirmed that Marvel's Spider-Man 2 release window. It will be coming out in the fall of next year.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Sony's big 2020 game, which shouldn't be a surprise.
2023 game.
2023 game. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a 3 years old.
I got bit by a zombie.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. That's why I'm here, Dan. I got you. All
right.
So that's
I'm like Rick Grimes. I've been in a coma for a while.
Yeah. So it's gonna be great, right? First one was great. Miles Morales also great. This new one's gonna have probably the same engine but just improved, and a whole new story, a bunch of new villains.
Well, Venom's going to be in it. There's going to be Venom in it, and Miles Morales is in it. Now the question is, are you going to be able to play as both Peter Parker and Miles Morales? Like, will they have two different story beats? Right?
I bet there's going to be like a mission or two where you do that. I bet you kind of switch off. But I want to know if they have Venom, are they going to have Carnage too and do that whole kind of storyline?
Oh, I don't know if they could. I don't know if you could. I think it. I don't know if Carnage could be like maybe too many. I mean, Kraven. It was rumored that I think Kraven's supposed to be in the game too, right?
Kraven's an okay villain. He's not top tier in my book, but
so that could be cool. Like, I'm looking forward to this. This is everyone kept talking about either Spider-Man or Wolverine. I think Wolverine's is going to take a little bit more time. I think that's like 2024, like Sony's 2024 game, right? So I always knew, like, I'm happy. Like, next year is going to be a big year. We got, Starfield that's coming out, right? Like, the two big games right now. I guess Final Fantasy 16, Starfield, Zelda, and Spider-Man. Like next year is going to be like a huge year.
For sure. They're all potentially Game of the Year contenders. Not trying to get ahead of myself here. 2022 is still going. Still got a couple more weeks to go, but you never know.
I don't know what else is left, Dave. What else is left to come out this year?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, we can't start thinking about, we can start thinking about next year, but we still got some time in 2022, because these games are all going to be fall releases, right? Maybe Zelda comes out in May, maybe over the summer,
No, Zelda, no. So Zelda
does have a launch in May. That's right. Didn't they say?
No, Zelda's coming out in May.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 16 is coming out in June.
That's right.
Starfield's supposed to come out in the first half.
That's right. Starfield's early, so maybe that's February, maybe it's March.
Yeah, so later in the year. It's, I think this could be like a September release, right? Like they did. The last Spider-Man game came out in September. I mean, it could be November too. Who knows? I mean, God of War came out in November, so. It all depends where the Call of Duties fall at, like where the other, and what else is releasing next year. Right. They're not gonna want to. I don't think anybody's gonna want to go up against Spider-Man, to be honest.
You'd have to be a heavy hitter. You'd have to be a Zelda type heavy hitter. You'd have to be a God of War or an Elden Ring to do that. And it has to be a property that's not a Sony in-house a Sony in-house property, right? Because you don't want to go up against your own product. You want to spread it out by a couple of weeks at least, right? So people get to play it, and then they can buy the next game that comes out, So, yeah.
I just hope it doesn't get pushed to 2024, right? Because they got a release window, but not a release date. So that doesn't give me confidence that it will come out, right, in the fall. But I hope it does.
Yeah.
It's been in the works for a while, so. I do want to. All right, so let's sort of transition from like Spider-Man video game, Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man, the movies, to actual, TV shows and movies, video game properties.
I thought you were going to say actual spiders.
No, I'm not going to say spiders. I will say this: I'm not a fan of spiders. I'll be honest. I'm not the biggest fan of spiders. I will say.
I don't think anybody really is a fan of spiders. I mean, they could tolerate them at best, I think.
When I was in Atlantic City, and as soon as I opened my room door, I saw the littlest spider with the biggest legs. The daddy long legs. And I almost went out. I almost, hey, I need a new room.
God. It happens.
Listen,
it's fine.
I'm not a spider. I like spiders. From afar. I'm not.
Right.
From afar. Okay.
So,
listen. I'm all for Spider-Man, but I'm not a Spider-Man.
Oh, you should have saw when I was down in Mexico. They weren't spiders, but they were like the biggest damn grasshoppers. They were like the size of your fist. They were huge. They just like hanging out on the railings and all that. You're like, oh, okay.
Oh,
it was wild. I've never seen them so big.
You see like a big mantis?
Yep.
Like it's like the size of your hand.
Yep.
Like, that's
yeah, it's crazy. Luckily, they're friendly.
Well, you want to talk about size of your hand. I mean, listen, you go to Australia, all their insects the size of your hand. Okay,
God.
like that's you just come home and see a spider that's like twice the size of your hand just chilling on your ceiling. And you're like, what the?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good. Not going. Yeah, I'm good. I can visit Australia. Don't know if I can live there. But all right, let's talk about TV shows and movies. We know next year we're getting hopefully Spider-Man 2, right? We may get Death Stranding 2 next year. I mean, that was announced at the Game Awards. I mean, that could be possibility that it could come out next year as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be using the same engine. It's going to have the same characters, more or less. Some of them at least.
Different type of game, if you ask me. I think it'll be a different type of game, but.
Oh, it will be. Yeah, 100%. I don't. It's definitely not going to be rebuilding the world yet again.
Yeah, but it looks like Kojima could be. Looks like he wants to bring that world to the big screen. He wants to make a Death Stranding movie.
Oh, right? For sure.
And at the same time, this came out. Right, looks like Amazon has partnered with Sony to bring a God of War TV show.
Yep. Horizon Zero Dawn is not far behind. I guarantee it. And they would do Spider-Man if they didn't already do Spider-Man, because that's the other one. That's the other one.
Spider-Man.
You can't come out with another Spider-Man movie when you already have the cartoon Spider-Man series and the Spider-Man series and Spider-Man in the Marvel Universe. It's just not possible.
Just as a side note, there were talks of Andrew Garfield, right? Doing another amazing Spider-Man, the third one.
Right. Because they introduced, spoilers for the people who aren't up on the MCU, but they introduced the multiverse by way of Doctor Strange to allow for alternate universes with all of the Spider-Men. So they're all like involved. So to do another amazing Spider-Man movie works in this context, right? It won't really confuse people that much and go, oh, well, they have a multiverse thing, so you can have multiple versions of these same characters.
Yeah,
I would see it. Because now there's kind of renewed interest in Spider-Man, the Andrew Garfield version, and just Spider-Man in general, even like Tobey Maguire, because like they all came back, right? And it's like, oh yeah, maybe Andrew Garfield wasn't that bad of a Spider-Man, and I would totally see a third one.
No, I would too. I just,
maybe he can fight Carnage.
Spider-Man, both the last two Spider-Mans and Batman are like they're all British.
Well, yeah, it's true. That's true.
They're all British.
That's true.
I can't believe we got all these British. But anyway, Death Stranding movie, and the God of War TV show are interesting to me because I know we got the Last of Us TV show that's coming out, right? And that sounds and looks awesome. I can't wait to watch that.
Oh yeah, and that's the format it needs to be in. It's a long, slow burn. The game is, even though it's an action game, but there's a lot of narrative and dialogue, and the way all the characters interact together. That takes time, right? You got to really get to learn the characters, feel for them. So I like a multi-year series out of this, like 3-4 years maybe. I think they could tell the story of one in maybe like 1 and 2 in 4 years.
So we got that. We know we got the Halo series, right? And there's the talks about doing a Gears of War series, and we got the Mario. We got the Mario movie coming out next year. Right? Death Stranding is weird. Death Stranding's different to me because
it's very much a weird game. Yeah.
I think it could be. I think the nature of the first game can be an interesting movie.
For sure.
Like him trying to deliver something across this crazy terrain, and you got the aliens or monsters, whatever you want to call them, and then you got people that are trying to sort of take his packages from him, and he's by himself. It's raining. He has a hood on. I don't know if Norman Reedus can actually play Norman Reedus.
Oh no, you got to get everybody. Because they're
all
not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they are all actors. They're all. Well, Guillermo del Toro is weird because it's his. Guillermo del Toro. Well, one of the characters is weird because it's his voice with a different body.
Wait, but that's not his. Wait, really?
One of the characters is different. I think it may be Guillermo del Toro's character.
Well, you know what? Jeff Keighley. What if Jeff Keighley's in them? You think Jeff Keighley's going to be in the movie?
I mean, probably, and probably Conan O'Brien as a cameo appearance.
A cameo appearance. That would be cool.
I mean, I think you.
I think the plot though doesn't fit. They would have to change the plot.
Well, that's the whole point. That's the whole interesting thing about it. Otherwise, it's just like a post-apocalyptic delivery man running around.
You don't have to overhaul the plot, but tweak it a little to make it fit a movie. I mean, it's weird. The plot is weird and quirky, which makes sense for like a video game and the things you have to do in a video game. But like, I think.
Well, I mean, you can't have 3 hours of running around delivering medicine for the people in like Nebraska. You gotta mix it up a little bit, right? You do some long shots of him running over the mountains, and and then you get into like some like interactions with people, and I mean it's you have to reshape it for sure, but you gotta hit the story bits about his sister and like
the world. Right, like making the world connected. Like, is that something that you think would make a good movie plot?
100%.
Something different.
100%.
I think they have to change it.
Why? Well, then it's not Death Stranding. It's just Death Stranding in name only, and maybe some atmosphere. Right? Then I don't want to see it anymore because it's just. And Kojima's not going to let that happen. Kojima wants to. He loves movies. He's always made cinematic works in his video games, all the way back to like the original Metal Gear.
What if Kojima changes it to something else and makes it?
He wouldn't. It still has to retain the story of Death Stranding. You have to change it and take all the game elements out of it. Obviously, right? You gotta make it a movie about struggle and about. Trying to like bring the United States back together, but it's more than just that because there's all this other stuff going on, and then the story will slowly reveal itself as you start connecting connecting America together, and that's where all the cool stuff is, and then you get the big couple of twists at the end, and you're like, whoa, okay, that's otherwise I'm like,
Yeah, I guarantee you 100% they're gonna change the story. Somewhat.
But how are they? Are they gonna take out the craziest elements?
Take out the baby.
No, are you kidding me? The baby stays. The baby stays.
All right, you can only have one. You can only have one. You connect in America, or you take out the babies.
Oh my God! See, you want like post-apocalyptic action running around. I mean, that could be interesting, but that's not what Death Stranding is. It's different.
But what about God of War? Now, look, Amazon has greenlit God of War TV series. Mm-hmm. Now, God of War definitely is. Are you going to use the old Kratos that's going crazy and trying to kill Zeus? Or are you going to use the new God of War, where he's sort of retired, trying to live a peaceful life, has a son, and fighting different which God of War we're going to?
He had a son in the first one who he killed. Spoilers, but he killed his whole family actually, which was weird. And then he got a new family.
I think all of that stuff would be like flashbacks. I don't think they would actually show that like in the first episode, but like
Oh well, it happened pretty late in the game actually, where that whole thing went down. You were in a house and your family was there.
Who would play? Who would play Kratos? It can't be Christopher Judd. He doesn't have, his voice definitely fits, but I don't think the look fits what Kratos.
He'd have to be in Greyface. Is that allowable?
Yes, I think it is allowable for Christopher Judd, but I don't think he has the look.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know if he's in like physical shape to handle that part too. I mean,
he did do the mocap for the new one.
Yeah, no, he did the mocap, doing the mocap and actually doing it on set.
Well, I mean, you would have a stunt double in there, right? For all the intense scenes.
As much as I love Kratos, I don't want The Rock to play him. I love The Rock, but this ain't the role for him.
No. It's definitely not. Definitely.
He has the physique and he has the look, but it's not.
Kind of has the look, yeah.
He doesn't have the voice.
I'd say give it to Chris Hemsworth. He doesn't want to be Thor anymore. Let him do something else. Shave his head.
Yes, he does. He wants another Thor movie, but different. He wants a different style of Thor movie. He wants a more serious Thor movie.
Oh, I last that I didn't think he wanted to do it anymore. Maybe that's not true.
Yeah, no. Last thing I heard was he wanted to do a different type of Thor movie, more of a serious one.
Right.
So,
yeah, okay. Well, I mean, what are your thoughts on them turning Sony turning all their properties into different mediums?
It makes sense. Well,
right?
It's not just Sony either. It's Sony. It's again, we got Nintendo with the.
They got Mario. They got the one.
Yeah, we got Xbox. We have the Halo series on Paramount, which I don't subscribe to Paramount.
They have the one. Yeah.
I wish it was on Netflix or something else so I could watch it.
I mean, you could always download it. You can always find a way to get it. But.
They got the Gears. The Gears TV show that they wanted.
They should do Gears. I think Gears would be good.
Batista wants to play or wants to be in it somehow.
Oh,
he loves Gears, and I can see
that he was in 5. He's got to be in. He's got to be in the new one.
DLC in 5. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes sense, and it's the right time to do those things. Not like the early '90s when we had terrible adaptations of.
Well, they didn't have the CG wasn't there. Special effects weren't there, and nobody knew how to write or translate a video game into a movie. They took all the things that didn't necessarily really matter, and they're like, "Oh, we got to hit this thing. We got to hit this thing for the fans, and we got to do this." And it's just no, you're missing the point of how to make this into this thing.
I mean, well, also remember the people making them back in those days. We're making them with like, hey, my kids play this, right? Like now, people are making them, oh, I played this growing up. I'm playing it now, so I have a better understanding of the medium, of the story,
right?
And this is what I do for a living. I can give it justice, right?
Like Henry Cavill, right? He played the Witcher games, read all the books, loves the lore. And he made that TV show. Henry Cavill was the best part of The Witcher.
Right? He was, and now I'm not going to watch it because he's not going to be.
It's going to have the younger Hemsworth brother Liam in there. So we'll see how.
No, I'm going to try. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it a shot. See if it's good, but it's not going to be the same without Henry. The Uncharted movie, right? That was it. It was good. It wasn't bad at all. It wasn't. It was. I would give it a 7. Right. The Mortal Kombat movie that came out like in 2021 last year.
Yeah.
That movie was good. It wasn't bad at all. I would give that movie a 7. I mean, the best movie adaptation from a video game. It's still the original Mortal Kombat. Till this day, if you
That's up there. That's up there.
Street Fighter, cult classic. Still. Not arguably, it's a bad movie, but it's a cult classic. Mortal Kombat, the original one, Van Damme should have actually starred in it.
Oh well, I mean,
they wanted him to.
I know.
His mistake.
Dan, I'm gonna have to regretfully disagree with you because you're forgetting the pinnacle of video game movies, the 2004 classic House of the Dead, directed by one Uwe Boll. Where they spliced in scenes from the video game with the zombies running up and slashing at the screen. And if you watch the director commentary, because we did at the time, there was talk of making it a first-person movie. Oh. Now that is a peak cinema, Dan. All right, it's on the AFI Top 100. It's a good movie.
No. I could beat that. Speaking of The Rock, he did Doom.
He did do Doom.
Back in 2004, 2005, right?
Yeah, 2005, 2006.
They had, at the end of that movie, they had an actual first-person scene where the
That's
protagonist
right, they did.
was killing all the monsters.
Yep.
All right, so that's good cinema right there for you, buddy. Or if you want to put the third one in here, Assassin's Creed.
Oh, I haven't seen that with what's his name? Yeah.
Trust me, you haven't. Trust me, you played the games, right? Well, you didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything special.
No, I didn't. No. And the weird like Animus thing was like, I don't know. They tried to make it too Matrixy. I was like, the Animus is just a chair, and you just jack into it. That's it. You know.
No. They made the Animus jack him in and swing them all around.
Yeah, it was a weird like Matrix simulation, like combat training or something. It's stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Well. Anyway, well, it looks like Amazon's they're making a big push. Again, green. They sort of spearheading the God of War TV show, and now actually looks like Amazon Games will be publishing the next Tomb Raider game. So they announced.
It's weird.
Crystal Dynamics announced they're teaming up with Amazon Games to publish the next Tomb Raider game in the franchise. So we know they're working on another Tomb Raider game, which is no surprise, right? Since they got it's no longer with Square Enix. Crystal Dynamics is no longer with Square Enix now.
Yeah, that's the surprising part is because Embracer Group owns it now. They sold it off. Embracer Group picked it up. They are huge. Like they're no B-tier studio. I'm surprised they're not just putting it out.
That's a good
right?
Question.
Like if it was like, I don't know, if it was like a smaller studio that like acquired the rights somehow, I don't know, or they just didn't have the manpower to like publish it properly. Like, okay, I could see partnering with Amazon, but it's just kind of weird. There's got to be something else going on there with this partnership. Well, I just don't know what it is. Maybe Twitch integration, or I don't know. Maybe it's going to be exclusive to Amazon Luna.
I can give it to you. Amazon just says, here's a boatload of money.
Sure. Because
we want to have something big on our platform. We want to have our name on something. We got to do something because they're not doing anything.
Well, everything they try and do is just a mess. It's a dumpster fire.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh.
All right, let's move on to something that's not a dumpster fire, and that's Games Pass, right? Or Games Pass.
No, Games Pass is definitely not a dumpster fire.
No. This comes from Windows Central. Microsoft may be exploring a cheaper option for Games Pass, sort of like a light edition, where they only charge you $2.99, $3. You will get ads. So every time you launch, you'll get an ad. And
fine.
Just launching the Games Pass app while launching a game, you will get an ad. You would only have Xbox exclusive games at your disposal, and you'll be able to play the new first party games 6 months after they've been released.
Oh, you got to wait a little bit.
Yes, you won't get a damn date like everybody else who pays $14.99, right? But you'll get it 6 months later, which isn't not a bad deal either. To be honest.
No, not at all. Not at all. As long as you have releases to play, and you would like at this point, if you bought the service came out now, you could play Halo, you could play Gears 5, you could play Forza Motorsport 5. There's a lot of stuff out there that you could play and have a lot of time with until the next big release comes out, and then that goes like 6 months out. So you should always have something to play, I think. I don't think you're gonna be able to chew through all that stuff if you haven't played them yet.
Yeah, well, again, you won't have the library, a vast library of like over 100 games.
Yeah, you'll have a smaller list.
You would have a smaller library
Yeah.
because it'll only be Xbox games.
Right.
They won't,
Right.
get access to Ubisoft or any, like Batman, Arkham games, none of that stuff.
Right. Because they have to pay for the licenses or whatever to get that on their system and all that. So you have to push that cost onto the consumer for the $15 tier. So I get that. I get that.
I honestly think the reason why they're doing it because they people have made fun of people have said, again, they've argued that the PlayStation, 3-tier service, sort of isn't great. But from a business standpoint, each tier has something, it's a cheaper option, mid option, and then you got the premium option, which is, I'm subscribed to. And as long as you're in that ecosystem, right, and you keep paying, right, they could keep adding things on and making it more attractive. And you have 3 different options that you can get into, because just seeing that one option for $150 a year, to be honest, you're like, oh my God, I'm paying double I used to pay.
Yeah.
And my complaint with Xbox is I can't pay up for the year. I have to do it monthly, right?
Well, they used to have discounts, right? You buy Xbox Live for the year, it'd be a little cheaper. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and they only have one tier. And we already know they're going to raise the price, right? Like, we know they're raising the price. Phil Spencer said at some point next year, they're going to have to raise the price.
Yeah. I mean, everybody does. Everybody does.
This could be them I could see them doing sort of like a 3-tier setup as well at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I can honestly see them doing that, and it's a good business. It would be a good business model. Hey, $3 and you get to play all Xbox games,
right?
And you know what?
Right.
Then you know what? Starfield comes out now. Starfield comes out in the first half of the year. You know what? When the fall hits, you'll be able to play Starfield for $3 a month. All right, that's an attractive offer right there. I can see that happen. All right, let's end the news with something weird. It's actually, I'm totally surprised at this. Actually, to be funny, I didn't know this existed.
Same.
An extremely rare Sega Michael Jackson game was found at a flea market in the UK. Right, Michael Jackson was supposed to be scramble training. This was a FMV sequence, sort of like one of those old Sega CD games.
Right, kind of like Sewer Shark or whatever,
Yeah, it's 1,000% like Sewer Shark.
It was one of the first QTE games, right? You got to press the button at the right time, and then it moves on to the next scene.
It was a full motion simulator movie that was supposed to have been played at Sega's, Sega World Arcade, one of the Sega World Arcade locations, but it didn't happen. But it was found in the flea market, and it's Michael Jackson, and I feel like when I watch it, I feel like I'm watching like Gary Movie,
right?
Where like I don't like this can't be real, but it actually is real. Like Michael Jackson's like telling you, "Hey, you made it through the training, you survived. Oh my God, that's great. Right. You're a great pilot." Like I know, I
would have loved to play this game. It's cool that we got to see the video for it, and it's surprising and not surprising because like Sega made Moonwalker, the Genesis version, they made the arcade version. I think there was even a Master System version as well.
There is a Master System version. I have the Master System version.
Right. We know that he had some involvement with Sonic 3, doing the music and all that. Like that was a whole thing.
He loves Sega.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was definitely a big gamer. But I also know that he was very upset with Sega's sound chip, and he wasn't happy with the quality of the sound that it could produce. It was a very unique sound. For sure. And he wanted to push it and do a lot more with it. I mean, Sonic 3 was great. The Moonwalker game had great sound and whatnot. So I don't necessarily think that was the reason why it got canceled. Probably just because Sega CD was Sega CD and nobody was buying it. And, maybe they just were like, I don't know if we can do this anymore. But that would have been awesome if it came out.
Okay. So, right, one last thing before we go. I did find the link for PlayStation's year in review. I had to jump through some hoops to actually get in, but I am in. I have not looked at anything yet. And I love the way they sort of have it with the X, the O, the triangle, the O, the X, and the square. They have different categories. Total playtime. All the games broken down, total playtime. I've played 217 hours.
Okay.
Of games. Okay. All right. I still played all my I played 91 PS4 titles and 41% of PS4 titles and 59% of PS5 titles. Huh.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah, I would go and look mine up, but I need to use the PlayStation as my two-factor authentication because I don't have the Sony authenticator on my phone anymore, so it makes it a little hard. And every time I try and log on when they have new PS VR2 pre-orders, I keep forgetting. My Xbox is, or my PlayStation's all the way in the living room, and I don't want to get up, go over there, turn it on, get the code, put it in. Ugh, it's too much. So
I played 46 games.
Yeah, okay.
What do you think, out of all the games you've played,
Horizon.
I logged the most time in?
Horizon.
Which game?
I don't think it's Gran Turismo. It's got to be Horizon. No. Or actually, no. I'm sorry. God of War.
Nope.
Okay, then I say Horizon.
No, close, but no.
Okay.
My number one game this year apparently was Judgment.
Oh wow! Oh yeah, I forgot you were playing that this year. Okay.
I clocked 36 hours.
Nice. There you go.
Horizon was number 2.
Mm-hmm.
I clocked in 35 hours.
Mm-hmm.
God of War was number 3. I clocked in 26 hours.
Mm-hmm.
The Last of Us Part 1. I clocked in 21 hours. And Mafia Definitive Edition, I clocked in 20 hours.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay.
And my favorite game, my favorite genre is action adventure.
Oh, that's not surprising. Yeah.
160. 162 hours logged in.
Mm-hmm.
And
nice.
They give you God of War statistics.
Okay.
Oh, are these like my statistics or just like the community statistics? It says axe throws 5 billion times. Okay, that can't be.
Well, that's obviously not yours. No, it's got to be total. Wow. Okay.
I didn't think I was a 5 billion type of guy.
No, I don't think anyone could throw. One single person could throw an axe that much.
I collected 154 new trophies.
Okay.
Look at
Okay.
that.
Very nice.
I collected. Okay. Oh, that's
Very
nice.
nice.
I like these stats. I like the way it's all set up too. And then, and what is and I plugged in. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Your time with PS Plus is about 45 hours.
Okay.
And this must be an ad because I don't play FIFA. This is just statistics all around. Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
And my biggest, Stray is no. Okay, that makes sense. Stray is the game I plugged in the most hours on PS Plus. Got it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Dave, you got any good holiday plans coming up?
I do, Dan. Going home to see the family. It's been a rough year for my dad, and he's coming out the other side. He's gonna live to see another year, so he's home now. So it's good. The whole family is gonna be there for Christmas. So I'm very excited. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. How about you?
It's low key.
Mm-hmm.
Low key thing, buying presents for the family, right?
Mm-hmm. You're buying presidents. Wow, there you go.
Buying presents. I said presents.
Oh, okay. It sounded like presidents.
Well, you know what? You just go out there and buy presidents.
Yeah, exactly. You could probably get Carter for, I don't know, like $10,000. He's probably cheap.
I'll get John Adams.
Well, you're taking about it that. Well, I was specifically talking about living presidents, but I mean, you want to dig some bones up, by all means.
Yeah. Listen, get a shovel. I'm not buying the presidents. I'm stealing them. I'm buying the shovel to dig them up. So
I see. It's like a little treasure hunt for the whole family.
Yeah. I'm going to enjoy, actually, Good Presents Clients Got Me, which I will talk about on Saturday morning retro in January.
I'm so excited. I want to say it, but I'm not gonna ruin the surprise.
Oh yeah. No, we're gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to the first episode of Saturday Morning Retro.
There you go. Make it special.
Right when I get all the gifts in. But one of them just came in today, and it's an awesome one. So definitely check out Saturday Morning Retro in January.
Nice. All right.
But I will say this is our last regular
episode.
Yeah. The next episode we're gonna do sort of the year-end review of 2022.
That's
and
right.
we're going to announce the top 10 nominees for Game of the Year.
Ooh, it's going to be good. It was a good year. It's definitely some big contenders in there. So, yeah.
The question is, will the Order 1886 make a return?
Oh, sleeper. Could it get back in there? It is possible, Dan. It's possible.
It already made history, nominated for Game of the Year.
I know. It's got a dynasty in terms of its nominations, right? 3 times.
No other game in history has been nominated this many times for Game of the Year.
No, 2015, 2016, 2017. Official nominee, Game of the Year by Rated G. Didn't win, but it holds the record for the most nominations.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Well, that is episode 340 in the books, folks. And I want to thank you guys for listening to the show, for liking, commenting, doing all the good stuff that you guys do. If you want to interact with us, and we know that you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. So please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.